If you enjoy the stories on my channel, please support by subscribing. Your support keeps me going, and I truly appreciate it. Now, let's dive into today's story. From the moment I looked into his eyes that morning, I knew someone had told him. There was no doubt in my mind. The way he looked at me, cold, distant, like a man who had already emotionally packed his bags and left, wasn't a guess. It was certainty. But the pain didn't just come from guilt. It came from the unanswered question. Who told him? I had been so careful. There were no text messages, no photos, nothing online. I had wiped every trace clean. So, how did he find out? Let me take you back. It started 2 months ago. My fiancé, Darren, had flown out to Chicago on a business trip, and I was left alone in our apartment in Austin. At first, the space felt manageable, but slowly, it turned into suffocation. We FaceTimed every night, but it wasn't the same. The distance wasn't just physical. It seeped into my chest like a fog I couldn't clear. In that loneliness, I made a mistake. I reconnected with someone I shouldn't have. My ex, Jordan. Let me be clear. This isn't one of those stories where I say, I don't know how it happened, or it was just a moment of weakness.
No.
I walked into it with eyes wide open. It began with a casual Instagram message. He replied to one of my stories. Austin still looks good on you. I should have ignored it. Instead, I replied, you too. Hope you've been well. That one message opened the door. 3 days later, we were drinking at a rooftop bar. A week after that, I was in his apartment. And no, I didn't hate Darren. I loved him in that calm, dependable, logical way. He was good to me.
Kind.
Reliable. A steady hand. But Jordan was fire. He was unpredictability, adrenaline, chaos, and I craved it. I needed to feel like more than someone's future wife. More than a woman waiting for wedding dates and dinner plans. I needed to feel like me again. The affair lasted 6 weeks. Just 3 meetups. I erased everything, every message, every call log. I made sure there were no photos, no evidence. We used a burner texting app, which I deleted as soon as I ended it. To me, it was over.
Clean.
Quiet. Darren returned from Chicago a week later. But something had changed. He still kissed me, still brought me coffee in the morning. But it felt like he was going through the motions. There was distance in his voice. A barrier I couldn't break through. I told myself it was just jet lag. Or stress. But soon, the warmth disappeared. The jokes stopped. The cuddles faded. He no longer said, I love you before leaving for work. He'd still say good night, but it felt hollow, like a stranger reading a script. One night, I finally asked, is something wrong? He looked at me with a coldness I'll never forget and simply said, you tell me. That night, I didn't sleep, because in that moment I knew. He knew. But how? I replayed every step in my head. I hadn't told anyone, not my friends, not even my therapist. Jordan wouldn't have said anything. There were no feelings left. No drama. We ended it quietly. I blocked him, deleted his contact, unfollowed him. There was no motive to burn me, unless someone saw us. A mutual friend? Someone from Darren's work. But we were careful. Always meeting late. Always far from home. I used a rental car, paid in cash, left no digital trail. Still, for 3 days, I was drowning in paranoia. And then I broke. I did something I hadn't done in years. I checked Darren's phone. Yes, I know. Trust goes both ways. And maybe I had no right. But the truth is, the moment he looked at me like a stranger, the line was already crossed. His phone wasn't locked. He had never kept passwords from me. That made it worse. At first, I found nothing, no texts, no screenshots, no photos. His email was clean. His gallery was empty. I was about to give up until I opened the Notes app. There was a folder labeled Truth. Inside, my name, the dates and times of every meetup with Jordan, the exact places we'd been, verbatim conversations, even the burner app I'd used to text him. Everything. It was all there. My hands trembled so violently, I dropped the phone. When I picked it back up, I kept scrolling, unable to breathe. Then I saw the final note. Ask Tyler if she mentioned anything. She didn't tell her mom. Her friends don't know. Someone tipped me off. Still unclear who. Tyler. My stomach twisted. Tyler is Darren's younger brother, 23, recently single. And then it hit me. The night Jordan and I met at that rooftop bar, Tyler had been there. I remember seeing someone familiar out of the corner of my eye, but I didn't look closely. I brushed it off. He must have seen us. Maybe even taken a photo. But if he knew, why didn't he just tell Darren? Why the mystery? That's when I realized maybe Tyler didn't tell him directly. Maybe he dropped a hint. Maybe he couldn't bring himself to confess outright. Or maybe Darren didn't want to expose Tyler. Maybe he was waiting for me to say it. 2 nights later, I couldn't carry it anymore. I confessed. Every detail. Every meeting. Every lie. I cried. I begged. I didn't defend myself. I just told him I was lost. I had made the worst mistake of my life. He sat across from me the whole time, stone-faced. When I finished, he spoke just 4 words. I already knew.
Goodbye.
He had packed a bag and left that night. I tried calling, messaging. Nothing. A week passed. Then 2. And then the envelope arrived. Divorce papers. We weren't married, but we had been engaged long enough to have signed legal documents regarding our shared assets. So, it was official enough. He didn't ask for anything. Not the apartment. Not the car. Nothing. Just silence. But what shattered me wasn't the silence. It was what I found out weeks later. I ran into Tyler at a grocery store. He looked visibly uncomfortable, like he didn't know whether to smile or run. I pulled him aside. You told him, didn't you? He shook his head.
No.
I swear I didn't. Then how? He hesitated, then finally said, You left your Apple ID logged in on your old iPad. Darren used it to watch Netflix. One of the texts popped up. I stared at him, frozen. You mean one of the deleted burner texts to Jordan? He nodded. I guess the sync didn't fully clear it. He saw a preview. That's when it hit me. I hadn't been exposed by a person. I'd been betrayed by technology, a forgotten device holding onto a secret I thought I had buried. No friend turned me in. No jealous ex. No accidental confession. Just a notification. A machine. But you know what hurt the most? Darren didn't confront me. He waited. He gave me a chance to come clean, to tell him the truth. And I didn't take it. So in the end, I didn't just lose Darren because I cheated. I lost him because I lied. Because I believed I had covered my tracks when all along, the truth was sitting in plain sight, waiting to destroy me.